Boy, I'll tell you. Oh, we're back. Still reading up. You know, we're going to, I should say, I'll be going up to Alaska, to Valdez, Alaska, for their winter carnival at the end of this month and take part in a few days of festivities there. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm reading up all about Alaska, so when I get up there, I'll know, you know, exactly what's going on. By the way, what's the capital of Alaska? See how good she is on this stuff.
I've always been bad in geography.
Take a guess. Come on, Juneau.
History.
Come on, Juneau.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Juneau.
I don't have any idea, really. I've never.
Come on,
don't know
Juneau. Juneau. I gave you it. Oh boy. Thank you. Let's get back to that stuff there, Tina.
Okay, first of all, before we get into our hard-hitting news, this is rather hard-hitting as well, but it is more of a local interest. If you're interested in becoming a police officer or a firefighter in the Atlanta area, applications will be taken on Saturday, which is today, from 10 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. at South Lake Mall and Perimeter Mall in Atlanta. So if you're interested in that, please drop on by and apply.
Well, apparently some folks are interested. In fact, some of the studio audience must be interested. They just walked out and left. I guess they're going to sign up.
I can't imagine, because I mean, really, I would be on the edge of my seat waiting to see what's happening next here.
Well, let's move on.
Okay. Labor Department analysts now say that if wholesale inflation continued at January's 1.3% rate, the annual rate of wholesale inflation would be 17.7%, not 16% as reported earlier. This appears to be a compounded figure, not just multiplication of 1.3 times 12. Please make earlier copy conform. Disgruntled farmers seeking higher government price supports will be present for a Senate Agriculture Committee hearing called to give them time to present their demands. Other farmers apparently are giving up their efforts and are returning home. Washington police now estimate 100 of the tractors earlier lumbered through the streets of the nation's capital have left aboard flatbed trucks. Bill?
Thank you, Tina. Attorney Marvin Mitchelson says he plans to seek an additional $1 million in damages from Lee Marvin for fraud. Michelson says the actor lied when he said he loved his live-in girlfriend, Michelle Marvin. In her original breach of contract suit, Miss Marvin asked for $1 million plus one half of the actor's estimated net worth. After yesterday's abbreviated court session in Los Angeles, Michelson said he would file an amended complaint on Miss Marvin's behalf. Michelson says the amended complaint is based on Mr. Marvin's lying to her when he said he loved her. He was fooling her. He admitted that on the witness stand. Apparently, there's some exodus of our audience this morning, except for certain people. Family show here. One of the most powerful voices in military affairs in Congress spoke out yesterday against the volunteer army. Isn't it unknown down there?
Yes. I mean, who else?
Democratic Senator John Stennis of Mississippi called for the resumption of the draft. Stennis, chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, says it's about time for the administration to end the 6-year experiment of staffing the armed services with volunteers. Stennis says the military isn't getting enough of the right kind of personnel and has trouble holding on to the people it has for both regular and reserve duty.
There's a report that Americans paid a median price of $61,100 to buy a new single-family home during December. That's 16% more than a year earlier. The most expensive homes were in western states, almost $10,000 above the national average.
What happened to the audience?
I hope it wasn't something I said.
Did you brush your teeth?
Where all the money for the ticket?
Sources in Poland say Pope John Paul II is certain to visit his homeland in early May, but this is not confirmed. The Pope has indicated he'd like such a visit, though obstacles from the communists may stand in his way. During a lecture on politics at Pennsylvania State University, columnist Art Buchwald told his 4,000 listeners, quote, "I have great respect for Jimmy Carter. In fact, I worship the quicksand that he walks on." And a committee of the Florida State Senate has killed a bill legalizing homegrown marijuana. State Senator Jack Gordon of Miami had proposed allowing individuals to grow 5 marijuana plants for personal use, but the measure didn't even get one vote in the committee. Gordon says he'll try again next year. And there's more of update early this morning.
They probably just went home to watch it on TV.
We'll be right back in just a couple seconds.
9511.
Go. We're back. HEW Secretary Joseph Califano announced in Washington yesterday that the federal government has accepted Georgia's plan to desegregate its colleges and universities. Califano said he had informed pleased President Carter about his home state's compliance. Califano said he had enlisted the help of White House aide Jack Watson in working out an acceptable agreement for his desegregation plan in colleges and universities. Desegregation, of course, shown right here.
Desegregation.
Desegregation. Electricity has been restored to most Georgia Power. Hey, they all don't work. All the bits don't work.
Guys, Bill.
To most Georgia Power Company customers in North Georgia, most of the northern part of the state was plunged into darkness Tuesday when a winter storm moved into Georgia, downing power lines and depositing ice on trees. About 210,000 electricity customers were affected.
That was a bad bit. I mean, it was bad.
Channel 17 sent out its film cameras, by the way, in the height of the blackout. We'd like to show you some of the footage we got, if we could take a look at that right now. There's just some of the film that was shot during the blackout in portions of Georgia. Tina.
Yes, the Georgia Senate voted to make it a misdemeanor to blow up mailboxes yesterday and sent Governor Busby 2 bills to take 2 long-forgotten slavery statutes off the state's law books. The postal bill by Senator Lee Robinson would make it a misdemeanor to vandalize another person's mailbox. Robinson said the only existing law on the subject is a federal statute. He said U.S. attorneys are usually too busy fighting racketeering and corporate corruption to go after petty vandals.
2 bills shown here. What's your name?
Bill.
I knew we'd save that bit somewhere.
Getting there.
A crew of 20 senior citizens are hard at work in Loveland, Colorado, helping the postmaster remail tens of thousands of Valentine cards with the Loveland postmark on them. The postmark includes a little Valentine's poem. The Loveland post office expects to remail as many as 223,000 Valentines this year. And once again, as always, it's time for our favorite person in Hollywood, Tony Holt.
And in Hollywood, this is Tony Holt.
Oh, thank you, Tony. You always brighten up our day around here. There's no doubt about that. Now, let's find out from Tina if you have anything further that you want to tell us about.
Yes, I have a couple of little feature stories that I'd like to share with everyone this morning.
I've got a couple, too. Let's flip and see who gets to read them. See if you read yours or I read mine. What do you want? Heads? Heads, you read yours. Tails, I read mine.
That sounds fair.
What do you want, heads or tails?
Oh, heads.
Okay, heads, you read yours. Tails, I read mine. Heads, go ahead, you win.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Police in Houston, Texas report the manager of a Savings and Loan Association branch sent a gunman away empty-handed by simply refusing to give him any money. The manager, who now says she doesn't know what she could have been thinking about, says she simply refused to give the teenage gunman any money when he demanded it and showed her his pistol. She says the youth just turned around and walked out. Shirley MacLaine, whose last movie was The Turning Point, will now star is the next star, that is, for Laura
Excuse me. I leave my keys here.
No.
How'd
you get back in? I thought you tore your ticket up.
No, I bought another wrestling ticket. We're all here waiting for the wrestling now.
Oh, the
As
only
soon as
reason
you get off,
everybody's
we get
here.
on with the wrestling.
Oh, they only want to see wrestling. They don't want to watch the news, huh? I didn't see your keys either. Go ahead, sorry, Tina.
What a lot of gall, and that's what I have to say about that. Well, at any rate, Peter Sellers will co-star with Shirley MacLaine in the comedy that will be directed by Hal Ashby. Bill.
Hey, we're about out of time for another 17 update early this morning as we head into another Saturday. I have to mention, if I may, a little thing I'll be involved in later today. 2 o'clock this afternoon at Cumberland Mall here in Atlanta, the lower level of Cumberland Mall. There's going to be a Steve Martin look-alike and act-alike contest, and I am going to be one of the judges. Quiet, please. I'm going to be one of the judges in that contest tomorrow, later this afternoon, 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. One of my favorite people, by the way, Gary McKee, who is probably the funniest man on radio here in Atlanta, will be the MC.
Sounds like fun, really.
Have a nice night, nice morning. This program has been pre-recorded behind a live studio audience.
This program has been pre-recorded. Tina Seldon available for escort service.
This program came to you from Atlanta, Georgia.